Fermentation by KayScience.com. We're now going to look at fermentation in yeast cells. But before we do, we're going to look at aerobic respiration in plant cells. I'm drawing a plant cell here. It's got a cell wall and a cell membrane. This cell is a yeast cell. It's a fungi. It has a cell wall also. Both the plant cell and the yeast cell both have nuclei. That's because they are eukaryotes. The plant cell, however, has a permanent vacuole and chloroplasts, whereas a yeast cell does not. However, both a plant cell and a yeast cell both have mitochondria for respiration, and they both have ribosomes. So this is a plant cell, and this is a yeast cell. Before we go through fermentation, I want to go through aerobic respiration in plant cells. Plant cells produce their own sugar source, glucose, via photosynthesis. So as you can see here, the chloroplast is where glucose is produced in a plant cell, whereas in a yeast cell, they need a glucose supply, which is absorbed into the cell. Both plant cells and yeast cells require oxygen for aerobic respiration. That means that their mitochondria can release energy for the cell's functions. So what I've just shown you here is aerobic respiration in plant and yeast cells, whereby glucose and oxygen react to form carbon dioxide and water, and there is going to be an energy release from the mitochondria during this process. It's question time. Attempt these questions to check your understanding. Let's now look at the process of fermentation. Fermentation is anaerobic respiration in yeast cells. Fermentation is anaerobic respiration in yeast cells. So if you were to limit the oxygen supply to yeast cells, the yeast cell will start undergoing the process of fermentation. So as you can see here, in a yeast cell, if glucose is absorbed into the yeast cell, the mitochondria can then use that glucose for anaerobic respiration. Now, in yeast cells, the byproduct of anaerobic respiration is ethanol. Ethanol is an alcohol. It is what we put in alcoholic drinks. So yeast cells can undergo anaerobic respiration, whereby glucose is broken down into ethanol, not lactic acid, as well as carbon dioxide. So anaerobic respiration in yeast cells is the breakdown of glucose in the mitochondria, which produces ethanol and carbon dioxide as a byproduct. There is also an energy release during this process. So humans have used yeast for thousands of years. We use the ethanol in alcoholic drinks. It's question time. Attempt these questions to check your understanding. Press pause to practice using those key words. The answers will follow. Press pause to go through your answers and make any corrections to your mistakes. Press pause to answer the questions. The answers will follow. And if you're stuck, just re-watch the video. Press pause to go through your answers and make any corrections to your mistakes. Visit KayScience.com for more free videos, worksheets and quizzes at KayScience.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe.